Hi there folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. There's been a few of you asked the question about this 25 horse Johnson I took out a couple weeks ago. Did I change the gear oil and what did it look like? Well, I'm going to show you that in this video, plus this video is titled something, I'm guessing. I haven't come up with a title yet, but you know, starting sequences on outboards. Sometimes you got to get to know your outboard a little bit, and then you can come up with a starting sequence. I think I have this one figured out after having it on the water and in my test tank about 3 or 4 times now. And let's see if I got it figured out. This thing is ice cold. I mean, as far as, you know, as ice cold as it can be on an 80-degree day. But first of all, we want to get this gear oil changed, take a look at it, and then fill her back up, and then we're going to put the muffs on it and see what we can do to get her fired up. Sound like a plan? Yes, let's do this. Keep in mind, this is a 1990 25 horse. Well, she's definitely a little darker. No water, that's good. That's the big thing, that's the big win right there. But yeah, this was pretty thick and nasty originally. Now letting this drain and putting in some more fresh should flush out all that nasty. This is 75W90, so this is gonna take a little while to drain. Well, that's definitely washed out a lot more of that darkness that was in that gearbox. Let's go ahead and fill her back up. Alrighty. So we just I had my sitting on my whistle. Blow my whistle, baby, whistle, baby. Anywho, we just got to the lake, pretend lake. We're gonna plug this in. We're gonna pump her up. As you guys know, I drain my engines when I leave the lake. I run them, run them empty. The bulb's pumped up hard now. I'm gonna go ahead and twist this thing. We're in neutral. I'm gonna twist this thing to the start position. So this is reverse, forward, neutral. Because this thing likes a lot of fuel. So what I'm gonna do is not pull the primer this time. I'm gonna give her 3 good yanks without priming it and see what happens. Okay, now, still full throttle, I'm gonna give her, not feeling anything there. There we go. Give her some primer pumps, same throttle thingy, kicked right away. So it does like the primer, and it does like this throttle to basically be in that position. So it only lets you go so far when you're not in gear. Then you can obviously go further. But yeah, that seemed to start a lot easier that time. Somebody did tell me, and I was being a dodo bird about it, I was using this kill switch to kill it every time. You can just push the button in on the end. I knew that, and I'd completely forgot about it. But yeah, once she's running, She's pretty easy to pop off. Man, she is a sweet runner. I hate to give it up, but I can't keep them all. We're gonna let her cool off for a couple hours and come out here and try a cold start again. Well, folks, that outboard, 3 hours later, a gentleman was here to pick it up, and it sat for about 3.5 hours roughly, and it started up really well. I told him that, I said, hey, I had it started running at 10 o'clock this morning, hadn't started it since the following weekend, and so she should be cold. She should be a representative of a cold start. So what I did is I left it at the full throttle in the neutral position, which isn't wide open obviously, gave it one pump of the fuel and gave it a yank, and she popped right off. So what I'm learning a lot lately is that some of these old, here again, I'm learning every day, guys, but some of these older outboards or some of the newer outboards, two strokes, to get them popped off and going, like that strong, you know, surge of gas in there to get them going. They like to be choked when they're cold, and they need that. If you got that primer pump it, get some, like I did that other morning, yesterday morning. Gave her a good shot down in there, so I felt the resistance. I could feel it pushing some fluid in there. Hit it, she goes. That's awesome. So I just want to leave you with that. It was the new owner should be enjoying that boat today. He said he was actually going out. It's funny, the last two outboards I've sold, they were planning on going catfishing that evening. So I'm glad I could get them an outboard that's going to be reliable for them. They're going on the river with it and stuff like that. And that little 25 horse has got a lot of power. It's got more horsepower than this 25 horse. A few of you have been asking about this guy right here. Well, this is a 1955 Johnson 25 horse Seahorse. And I picked it up from the second owner. And first owner had bought it original, new, with the boat and trailer, all as a thing in 1955. I really hope the guy that sold this to me is watching, because if he ever decides to get rid of that boat, I want that boat. It's a little 14-foot V-bottom aluminum boat, but you can tell it was built in 55. The last one I had was built in 69. There's a lot of worlds of difference there, you know, 14 years difference. And back in 55, you know, as much cast as there is on this, there's that much cast on that aluminum boat as well. It was pretty cool. The nose piece was a big wraparound cast piece. The, what do you want to call the stern supports, keel supports, stern supports, whatever those angle braces are. The name's eluding me right now, but it was all cast aluminum and riveted in place with the old, you know, bucked rivets. It's pretty dang cool, solid rivets, you know. So we're gonna get to this one. Be patient. I've got a few more things, irons in the fire. This was kind of at the front of the line, kind of behind my 50 horse. I really need to get back onto my 50 horse and get that tested out and see how she runs. And I'm excited to get back on it. If that works out the way I want it to, I'm gonna put that on the Banana, and we're gonna test it on the John boat first. And it's probably gonna be a little scary, but we're gonna do it. That's what the John boat's all about, is make sure I got a good outboard before I go drilling holes in a fiberglass boat to remount another engine. and just I don't like putting holes in fiberglass I don't need to. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little short one, but just wanted to share some knowledge with you. A few of you had asked about how did that gear oil look in that 25 horse. Well, it was dark as you saw, but it was definitely a lot less dark and a lot more fluid than the stuff that came out of it. One of those things is he'll run that the rest of the summer, I'm sure. Next summer when he changes it, it'll be, you know, good as gold. The good news is no water in it. The better news is it's got AMSOIL in it now. It should last quite some time. Well, folks, have some fun out there. Remember, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. And you never did learn anything by not doing nothing. Never learned anything. You never screwed anything up unless you did something. So if you never screwed anything up, that means you're doing nothing. Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. Have some fun. Love y'all. See you in the next video.